Last week, Donald Trump gave instructions to Elon Musk to get more aggressive on cutting out the bloat from the federal government. And I think he's doing a bang-up job. He appeared at the CPAC in D.C. with a chainsaw and melee, and he appeared to be iced up a little bit with that gold chain. Good work, Elon. Well, here's how the story goes. Elon sends out this email that's basically like, tell me what you did this week. If you don't reply, that's a resignation. Now we're hearing it's actually a trick. The real goal here is that many of these people working for the government with emails won't respond to them for several reasons. Either they don't exist, and let's clean up the email lists. They refuse to respond. And so are they actually doing work? And why are they not adhering to HR policy? Or they never checked their emails in the first place. So they're literally doing nothing. That's the real point. Basically, the email said, respond to this email with five bullet points of what you got done this week. We'll pull up the email and CC your manager. Refusal to, or it says something like, if you don't reply, we'll take that as a resignation. Well, now with Kash Patel as the director of the FBI and Tulsi Gabbard as the director of national intelligence, they're instructing all the people beneath them not to respond. The media, of course, is replying to this as it's some kind of power shakeup and chaos and power. You know, what are they saying? They're saying it's a power struggles. There you go in D.C. I think that's silly, and I think there's obvious reasons why Kash and Tulsi said don't respond because they're dealing with sensitive information, and even knowing who does or does not respond could be compromising to a certain degree. And I don't think Elon's email is all that serious, but the media is certainly taking it like the apocalypse. So let's get into it, my friends, and see where we're at with this. This is amazing, by the way. To all the clever techniques that Elon has at weeding out garbage in business and government is fantastic. But I do want to add one thing as we get started. Where were all the Democrats crying when people lost their jobs over COVID? They didn't care. They were cheering for it. And now that we're simply saying, hey, you know, maybe we should figure out if people are doing their jobs for the money they're getting paid, they're losing their minds. But I want to tell you one thing. I just have to do it. I mean, I got these promos to read. No, I have to do it. These people are claiming that Trump and Elon are fascists, that they're seizing control of government. Boy, I tell you, go look at these leftist podcast subreddits. It's amazing. The Cope, the Seethe, the death threats. Yikes. Go take a look. These people are saying that Trump and Elon have consolidated power. They're taking over the country. It is fascism. And I'm like, they're firing people. Okay. They're reducing their power in government. Now we're hearing that Kash is also going to head up the ATF as well. It looks like agencies are being reduced. That's not expanding Trump's power. This is what these people don't get. When they're like, you can't own a jet. How are you going to overthrow the government with just handguns or whatever? What was it Joe Biden said? You would need F-16s and nuclear weapons. It's like, bro, have you ever read any military doctrine? You can't occupy street corners with an F-16. That's why individuals armed are the most important, most powerful thing in warfare. It's why Vietnam and Afghanistan didn't go so well. So these people are saying Trump is consolidating all his power in the federal government. But by firing all of these people, he's reducing his capability to influence and maintain power federally. Trump is not taking over. He is dismantling the deep state. That's why they're crying. But let's take a look exactly how. Now, of course, you all know. Oh, boy, Dan Bongino and Kash Patel. Woo! I could not be more excited. Not be more excited. But let's read this story from AL.com. Before we do, my friends, head over to castbrew.com and pick up some Cast Brew coffee. I got to do it. Ian, you got any coffee left? 154 bags of Ian's Graphene Dream. That really is incredible. Guys, I don't know what it is about Ian's low acidity coffee, but it is selling like crazy. And, part of me, I feel kind of bad. I do. I mean, we sell a ton of Appalachian Nights. That is our flagship. Ian's is Ian's professional signature blend, but we're selling so much. It's outshining our other coffees. The reality is we're only selling more and more and more. So it's absolutely fantastic that y'all buy Cast Brew at castbrew.com. But I got to say, Ian hit a grand slam with this coffee blend. So shout out to Ian. Y'all are putting him through college and he needs it. Make sure to go to rumble.com/TimcastIRL. If you go to the playlist, you can see we've got feature-length documentaries and the Green Room behind-the-scenes pre-show, uncensored. Take a look at Chloe Cole's story. And then, of course, we've got Will Chamberlain, who is here. You probably know I was not here Friday or Thursday as I had a child. So thank you all for thank you to everybody who for your well-wishing and for your messages of congratulations. I really do appreciate it. Most of you probably know by now, my first child was born, and this happened on Thursday. So Phil filled in. But you can check out all of those episodes, Timcast IRL. Here's the story from AL.com. As Elon Musk's email demand creates chaos for federal workers, Patel tells FBI to hit pause. Indeed, he does. But let me show you the email. We have it from Libs of TikTok. Literally takes 2 minutes to respond. Reporting to your boss about what you accomplished at work is very standard. Why is this so controversial? Absolutely great question. Here's the email. It says, what did you do last week, HR? Please reply to this email with approximately 5 bullet points of what you accomplished last week and CC your manager. Please do not send any classified information, links, or attachment. Deadline is this Monday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. Now, I believe this is the email in question. I'm not entirely sure. It could be, this one could be an old email from like Tesla or something. I don't know. But the general idea is there. Why is it controversial in any way to say, hey, boss, here's what I'm working on? Why is the media losing their mind over this? Their minds, I suppose, considering it's a weird hive of cultists, mind in the singular is appropriate. Independent.co.uk, Elon Musk makes an admission about the productivity email his group sent to federal workers. An admission! They got him, boys. Did they? Yeah, it's fairly obvious. Elon Musk said that blanket email sent to federal employees asking for a response about their weekly accomplishments or risk termination was a test to see if they had a pulse. Indeed. The tech billionaire tasked by Donald Trump to slash bureaucracy and federal spending through his Department of Government Efficiency wrote on his X platform Friday that all government staff would receive an email requesting specifics of what they had achieved last week. Excuse me. Workers reportedly received the email Saturday afternoon from the Office of Personnel Management with a subject line, what did you do last week? The deadline given to respond, according to emails reviewed by Reuters, was 11:59 p.m. EST Monday. Failure to reply would be taken as a resignation, Musk tweeted. Less than 24 hours before the deadline, Musk hinted that the emails were simply a ruse to ensure federal employees were capable of responding to his correspondence. In the early hours of Monday morning, Musk replied to American venture capitalist Gary Ten after he shared a post claiming that Doge wouldn't be capable of reading all the federal workers' responses, calling the initiative stupid and performance art. Most people don't understand LLMs have changed the nature of management already, and this will be a bit of a shock to people, Tan tweeted on Sunday night. Speaking of large language models, a type of machine learning like ChatGPT or Grok, Musk responded that LLMs would not be needed for this task. This was basically a check to see if the employee had a pulse and was capable of replying to an email. This mess will get sorted out this week. A lot of people in for a rude awakening and strong dose of reality. They don't get it yet, but they will. On Sunday afternoon, Musk also referred to the emails as a very basic pulse check. That evening, Musk added that a response was indicative of that employees have 2 working neurons. As of Saturday night, employees at several agencies, including the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, and the CDC had received the emails, Reuters reports. When asked for comment, an OPM spokesperson told The Independent the agencies will determine any next steps. As part of Trump administration's commitment to an efficient and accountable federal workforce, OPM is asking employees to provide a brief summary of what they did last week by the end of Monday, CCing their manager spokesperson said. I want to stress, one of the most mundane and routine things any company or any workforce could ever do. Hey, what did you do this week? Really simple, huh? What's fascinating is how offended liberals and Democrats got over this one and the corporate press. It's fascinating because he's not asking for anything out of the ordinary. These people literally live their lives working jobs where they do not answer emails or communicate at all with the office. You had one video, I think it was it Loeffler, was in the office and she's like, it's Friday afternoon, take a look. And the entire office is empty. No one was there. And these it's remarkable to me. These Democrats are talking about, but remote work and how they want slavery. They're trying to force you to be in the office. Like, it's called having a job, dude. Let me tell you about remote work. It's bad. Some things can be done remotely. There's a task, A plus B equals C, like get it done. But most high-level work requires collaboration. And so I got to tell you, I go downstairs. Here's how we ended up ordering all of the Pop-Tarts. I know you're thinking, huh? Wait, what is it? We ordered 1,000 Pop-Tarts. Bear with me, because we're going to be filming a video. That'll be fun. We're going to butter them and make sandwiches. And as it turns out, because they're illegal in Europe, some of our European friends are going to have Pop-Tarts for the first time. So how did it happen? We were hanging out downstairs, joking about Family Guy, and then some comments were made. Someone said Pop-Tarts are illegal, and I went, holy crap, they're illegal in Europe. Not that they're illegal, but that because of the regulations, they don't produce or sell them. You can still get them at like specialty shops. But we thought it was hilarious, so I ordered a bunch, and I said, let's make a video where we eat a bunch of Pop-Tarts. I mean, they're delicious, but still. The point is, being there next to each other and joking around and having community helped us come to create these ideas. Now, that's silly, but it's masterful when you look at rocketry. There's that famous video where Elon is talking to some YouTuber, and the YouTuber's, he's like, we don't need cold gas, we have hot gas. And the guy's like, yeah, but that's just the booster, right? And then Elon goes, oh, that's a good point. Why do we? I'm going to change that. That interaction of just a question ignited an idea in Elon's head. He knows it. So this excuse about remote work, they are lazy people who don't want to do the job. So, goodbye. Here's the story. They say the rift emerged on Sunday between Trump's agency heads and Musk after leaders of the FBI, Pentagon, State Department, Department of Homeland Security, and Department of Energy instructed staff not to reply. Some managers, including the Department of Health and Human Services, instructed workers to comply with the request and a list of 5 accomplishments. Blah, 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 and not to wait. Extremely troubling that some parts of government think it is too much, Musk tweeted on Sunday. What is wrong with them? Senior officials work to provide employees guidance on how they should proceed. Kash Patel said, pause. Interesting. The emails thrust the Defense Department into chaos over the weekend as they try to determine what to tell employees about how to respond, multiple senior officials told CNN. I got no problem. Now, we're hearing, Tulsi said, don't respond. We got the story from The Independent. Another member of Trump's inner circle rebels. Tulsi Gabbard joins Kash Patel and the DOD and instructing employees not to respond. I really don't care. There are people saying like signs of power struggles emerge in DC. No, spare me, dude. Elon is doing these light maneuvers off the cuff to just test whether or not people are working. And I got to tell you, it's brilliant. He's got a bunch of these tactics and techniques, but let me just stress how much you want to bet there are thousands of federal employees getting a paycheck and doing nothing. I mean, literally. I was reading this story on Reddit where this guy said that he worked in a satellite office for his company. So they had a main HQ and then they had a satellite office somewhere in the suburbs so that they could take clients and do things like that. It's easier, right? You have your main headquarters, but if you're not in the city, they say, well, we have a lot of clients in this area. They can drive there to drop things off and we can facilitate that way. When the company management changed, something happened. They decided to stop using the satellite office. And so they basically shut it down, but never provided instruction to this one guy. So he asked them, what's going on with this change? And they said, just stay tuned and we'll let you know. So he shows up to the office and he's the only one there. They still have the property, they're still renting it, but nobody works there anymore. He's sitting in the office, nobody responds. His boss is the guy who runs the office is now working somewhere else and is no longer his boss. He never gets an update. And he's like, I'm sitting here, I've been getting paid for months and they've never given me instruction and I don't know who to email or what to do. So I largely just play Civilization on my computer, video game. That probably exists all over government. I don't blame the guy. And I gotta be honest. It's funny when you read that story, because if you read it as an employee or as a general worker, you're probably going like, whoa, dude's getting a freebie. He gets to get paid and do nothing. Ha, 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 ha. I got to be honest. As a business owner, I think one of two possibilities. There is a possibility that a large company just didn't realize they left a guy there and he's getting paid. That's possible. Seriously, with a large company, that's why they bring in consultants, right? I got to be honest. I kind of think they know he's there, but you need to have someone occupying the building because you don't want it to be empty. So they were like, just leave some guy there. Who cares what he does? We need a body in the office. We'll see what happens. I think that's probable, but I don't know. Maybe they just forgot about it. But the point is this. The way the federal government works, the way they just pay things out, the way it is so broken and corrupt, I'm willing to bet there are thousands of people They're like, let's say there's a director of, I don't know, invoicing, payments, and ingestion or whatever, right? And his job is like, we send out payments, we take in payments, and we manage his accounts. He hires 2 people to work beneath him. He's told, like, look, hire some people, facilitate. He says, okay, you got it. Then one day, I don't know, he does something untoward. Let's keep it family friendly. And he gets fired. And the government doesn't know or care about the federal employees that are working beneath him in his department. They don't want to deal with unions. They don't know. They don't care. Not their money. So they just forget about it. The person who had hired the guy who got fired, they move on somewhere else. And these 2 people are just sitting there being like, what do we do? We're getting paid and we're doing nothing. We have no one to report to. Now think about this. It's the government, which means it's not the same as a private company where profits matter. They're in the government. They go to someone in their union and say, hey, our boss is gone. There's no one to report to. And they go, well, hang tight because they can't fire you for no reason. But like, yeah, but we have no job. Like, we're not doing anything. And they're like, we'll figure it out. Sorry, I got too much to deal with. And a couple of employees with no real problem it's not something I want to deal with. So these 2 guys sitting in an office start playing video games. And they're like, honestly, dude, I have no idea what we're doing. And they walk out of the house and they go, hey, like, our boss got fired. What do we do? And they were like, not my problem. No profit, doesn't matter. The United States government may as well effectively be the largest ingestion of capital on the planet. And they're just like, literally nobody cares about your salary, dude. It is a rounding error in the GDP of the United States. And nobody wants to take time out of the day to solve your problem. So Elon says, answer your emails. And a couple of guys who stopped and are just playing video games all day because they have no real tasks, don't get the emails and don't respond. So what happens? There's going to be, with all these emails responding, they can do a simple 1-for-1 comparison. We sent out 50,000 emails. We got back 37,000. Isolate the 13. Let's follow up and do performance reviews on them. And then it's going to turn out several thousand were out of the office, paternity leave, maternity leave, vacation, whatever, and several thousand don't actually work there anymore, but are still collecting paychecks. And that is the point. So here we are. Everyone's screaming and crying about Elon. But let me make it clear for you. Make it as clear as I can. Starbucks lays off 1,100 corporate employees as coffee chain streamlines. John Deere confirms more than 100 layoffs at Ankeny location. CBS News, Dallas-based Southwest Airlines cutting 15% of corporate workforce. From IT Pro, tech layoffs have already topped 26,000 in 2025. Let me just stress, these stories are all from right now. The AP story was from this morning. The John Deere story was from yesterday afternoon. CBS News story was from yesterday afternoon. And the Tech Bro story, the IT Pro story, the Tech Bro, is from 4 hours ago. So have you heard anyone crying over these layoffs? Have any of the Democrats come out and said, it is terrible what is happening to these poor Starbucks workers? No, it's a lie. What's actually happening is the free ride is over. Elon Musk posted this meme. It's SpongeBob looking down at a list confused and it says, got done last week. Cried about Trump, cried about Elon, made it into the office for once, read some emails, cried about Trump and Elon some more. Indeed. Trump deploys SpongeBob meme to troll Doge critics. Trump shared the meme on Truth Social shortly after Musk shared it on X. I'm really enjoying the meme warfare from the administration. They posted ASMR deportation. Oh my God. We're having a good time, folks. We're having a good time. Boy, are they losing their minds. What's really funny, guys, I just want to say the word vindication. I am so excited to get some of these liberals on Timcast IRL or the Culture War podcast because I'm seeing all of these subreddits for liberal shows where they're like, civil war is coming. Donald Trump is taking over the government and firing all the checks and balances, and he's seizing authority. And I'm like, civil war, you say, huh? There's so many of these. I posted some of them. We're like, this clearly ends in civil war. There's no other way. And I'm like, oh. So all of these people, when I said this, a year ago, when Donald Trump takes office, either it is limp-wristed and nothing gets done, or he does what he says he's going to do, and the left is going to lose their mind, and we are on track for a civil war. Nothing has changed in that regard. The escalation is only before us. But my point has always been not that the right is going to get in the streets and go nuts. Possibility was there. And I do believe high-level instigation would likely come from the right. What I mean to say with that is any kind of shot heard round the world moment, such as the Battle of Lexington and Concord. Well, we don't actually know who fired first, but it wasn't the loyalists. My point here is liberals are now seeing everything Trump is doing and claiming the only thing that can be done is civil war. These same people told me I was wrong, that Trump wasn't. It's wild because I was talking to Sam Cedar. And he's like, you think a civil war? And I was like, what if Trump does X? And he goes, well, I mean, if he does that. And I'm like, do you think Trump will do the things he's saying he's going to do? He's like, well, I mean, he might. And I'm like, and if Trump does the things you claim are fascistic, you're saying no one is going to stop him? And he was like, well, I mean, and I'm like, so you think there is a possibility? Well, I guess. I'm like, spare me, bro. Now it is all the liberals and leftists on these subreddits saying civil war is coming. Not that I know for sure, but I think we are looking at something truly tremendous. This is the administrative civil war. That's what they've called it. Does the deep state take this lying down? The reality is I don't think any real Americans support the deep state in this way. And it's all sock puppet fake garbage. You go and talk to a regular person like, what's wrong with firing these people? Yeah. They're going to be like, I know people get fired all the time. Why are these people sacred? Indeed. So I don't know if there's actually going to be a civil war because I think it may be over. But my friends, I suppose as time often says, we can only wait and see. So smash that like button, share the show with everyone you know. We got more segments coming up. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you all in the next segment.